But I feel like, I don't know. I feel like that's part of it though. Just because, as long as you don't quit, like you're good. Now there's definitely positivity or like growth in being consistent and being persistent and keeping things going and not I don't know if the word is like rocking the boat. The term should be rocking the boat, but there's definitely power in that too, because you got people that's like looking forward to it, every week. But my streaming schedule is all like over the place, bro. I don't know what it is. It's just like to record. It's super easy. Like, I recorded a video prior to doing this, just because I wanted to do that. So I didn't forget anything that I wanted to say, and that was just like when time to do a video. It's like easy, bro. Turn it on. You know what I'm saying? But streaming is different, bro. And I've talked about that before. But yeah, bro. Let's get right into it, man. Welcome back to the Why I'm Geek show. Today's episode is episode 8. So we getting up there, bro. We getting up there. It's a Kobe episode, man. And I wanted to start this episode off talking a little bit, about some sports. Not necessarily like what's going on in the sports world right now, because this March Madness, there's just endless upsets. LeBron just got hurt. LaMelo just got hurt. He out for the season. Like, not necessarily that stuff, but I did want to come in here and talk to you guys about Last Chance U, man. If you haven't had a chance to check it out, definitely do. I'm still not done with it. I thought I'd be done by this week, but I just didn't get around to finishing up the season. But I love it, bro. I love it so much. Just because this, compared to like the football ones, it's telling the stories that never really get told, bro. Just like how players really be feeling. Because like a lot of stuff for me is very relatable. Just in my basketball journey, like back in the day. And it was just like really cool for them to be able to capture that. And because like with basketball, it's such a personal game, bro. It's such a personal game because it's different than any other team sport. Honestly, like it's very different because not only are like not only can you just like actually see the player, but you can see the emotions on their face. Like it's not like on a soccer field where there's a lot more players and it's this huge field that you only might be able to get a glimpse of players at certain times. Like basketball, you can see people's emotions at every moment of the game, from the time that they step on the floor to the time they get put onto the bench. Like you can see it, bro. And a lot of players wear their heart on their sleeve, bro, because it's like like I said, it's a personal game, bro. It's a personal game. And it really like reminded me why I love like hooping so much. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a show, like I'm not even done with it, but like it's a show that like we get not only just the coach's perspective but the players as well. And I never really got that perspective until I watched this show. Like how it's all a game, but it's like the different little things that like coaches would do that like you didn't really understand like why you was in the moment, but be able to sit back and look at it now, I'm like, yo, I completely understand, like what I'm saying, like what I'm watching right now. Like I was there, like it was crazy. It's crazy, bro. But yeah, like I did want to come in here and talk to a little bit about that, just because I think it's really good. I think that I don't know if they're gonna be able to, produce another season with another team like that, because this is like coming off of the Sierra Canyon doc too, which I've seen that as well. And I've talked about on this podcast. But I want to see a lot more of these like basketball documentaries, because there's not a lot of them out there, bro. And I think with players like LeBron and KD who are in the content game, even like OGs like Gilbert, um, watching their stuff and them being able to tell their stories is very important. It's very important. And that's one of the things like that I really respected Kobe for as well, because like what he was building, bro, and I don't know like what's exactly going on with it now, but it was finna really change things. That's what you can do when, you know, you take a mind like that outside of the game. I think that's gonna really like impact people, and like we're gonna see, you know, um, the fruits of that, later on. And I'm just excited, bro, because y'all know me, bro. I love content, bro. I love creating content. I love watching content. I love learning about new stuff. Like that's my thing. And it was just something dope that I really wanted to, talk about a little bit about, along with Last Chance U, and just like the things I'm noticing nowadays. Now let's talk about another thing that I love, and that's Star Wars, bro. So I kind of went on a not necessarily a Star Wars binge, but I took a step back and watched the first trilogy again. Well, really for the first time, fully, like from 4 to 6. Like I watched the whole thing. Of course, it's like the remastered version, so it looks a lot better. But bro, it gave me a whole new appreciation for just the series as a whole, and you know, and I talked about it in videos last week. My thoughts on just like the whole series. So I won't necessarily bore you guys with that, but I just like, bro, I love Star Wars so much because of the story, like of just like finally getting to see like the full, Anakin Skywalker story come to an end, and like, cause like the Clone Wars, like episode 1 through 3, that's like my favorite era of Star Wars, and I've always seen, the first trilogies, on TV like randomly, and I, watch it here and there, but I never really sat down and did that. And bro, I'm trying to tell you, bro, it almost made me shed a tear. And that if it can do that, bro, if it can do that for how old it is, that's how you know you got something special, bro. That's how you know. And it's kind of even making me want to go back and rewatch like the newest trilogy, because I like Solo. You know what I'm saying? I like the like one-offs that they do. I love the Mandalorian, but I could not get with Ray, bro. I couldn't do it. I don't see it, bro. I do not see it. I feel like she's very gimmicky, and the story that they were going for, it just didn't get there for me. It didn't get there. But maybe watching it all back to back to back will change my perspective on the whole thing, because I still like really don't like it right now, but I'll give it some time, man. Let me know what you guys think. What's your favorite Star Wars trilogy? Put that in the comments or the chat. You know what I'm saying? I would love to know. Um, just because I love Star Wars, and that's what I'm gonna do. So, um, I also wanted to talk a little bit about my first impressions of the Falcon and Winter Soldier, man. This series is very safe, I feel, and I think it could be really good, but I just hope that like the amount of episodes they do will be enough to really establish them as characters moving forward. Because like we know who Bucky is just because of he was the main villain, and then he became an ally, and all these different Captain America movies over the years, and the Falcon has been Cap's sidekick pretty much throughout this whole time. But we don't really know the story of just like what he was doing, why he was really the Winter Soldier, and I think that's like the most interesting thing about this series. I'm interested in the Falcon a little bit, just to see like his transition and how he's gonna, take up the mantle. But from what I saw, like in the first episode, I wasn't really, and I talked about it in the video that I made about it. Like I wasn't really like moved by the whole fix up the family business type thing. Like I get that, it's bringing light to not only problems that like are happening in the MCU, but just how it correlates to real life. How hard it is to get along when things should be so simple. Like it don't matter who you are, like what I'm saying. Like if they don't want you to have something, they just won't let you have it at some point. So it's there's moments there, like there's little things there, but they gotta take it a step further for me to start to really believe it, bro. Because the Falcon to me has always been pretty much like a square, like not necessarily like a missed opportunity, but it reminds me a lot of Rhodey, for what I thought Rhodey was going to be prior to the recasting. And not to say that I think Terrence Howard had done a better job, because I don't think that's it, but just like just the direction that they took that character, of like how cool I thought he was going to be, and he was very like he suffered a lot through the plot, and I won't get into that because that's a whole different rabbit hole. But I don't want to see that happen to the Falcon, and I want him to be like a really dope character, because I remember him from like OG, like, and he was a really cool character. Now he's not like the main like guy, but since they're taking this step, I want them to do it right, So those are my thoughts on there. And I also like literally yesterday watched the Justice League, all 4 hours of it, bro. I won't do a super deep dive on there because I got a video that already dropped by this time. Most likely the same time the audio comes out, like on Monday, I'm gonna drop that video that day where I talk about I talk about and I give my review on the movie. But I really enjoyed it, bro. I'm gonna be honest, like not all 4 hours were super like oh my gosh, I can't believe this is happening, but they just did it right, bro. They did it right, and I really appreciate this director's cut. Now I don't think you can do this with every movie, but like this is like the first time that this has really happened, and like like ever. Like yes, there's been remakes, but to this scale, like this hasn't really happened. And for it to be a director's cut, it's different. It's different. So if you ask me, bro, I think you should go watch it. It's a long one, but it's definitely like, pause on that. It's definitely a long movie, but it was worth it in the end, and I really enjoyed it. So those are pretty much all of my like recent cinematic like takes, I guess. But one thing I also wanted to talk about, and this is the last like pretty much last like movie thing I'm gonna be talking about, or show. I think it's important to have a classic, something that you can always go to whenever, right? Like don't matter what episode it is, when you're watching it, whether you're like eating dinner or just like trying to fall asleep, or just chilling on the bus, or like whatever, what I'm saying? Like I think it's important to have a classic, bro. And when I say classic, I mean like a TV show. Like, so for me, that classic was The Office, right? It was something that I watched pretty much like every day. I could watch, that joint back to back, like forever, basically. And they recently took that joint off of Netflix, and I haven't watched it since. But I really needed to fill that void, right? And I was able to do that with Psych. Now, Psych is an older show. Well, they probably came out like, Office came out before that, but it's not necessarily like as huge as a phenomenon as The Office, but for me it does the same thing. So like I can literally watch any episode of Psych and enjoy it, just because it's like it's simple, it's funny, and I enjoy the characters and the actors, and just the storytelling that happens within it. I won't necessarily go into that, but I did want to just bring that up. I think it's important to have that just because it balances you out, man. It definitely balances you out, especially like for somebody like me who is a content creator and I watch a lot of stuff. I can get burnt out super easily. So having something that's like no pressure of like, I gotta do a review on this, I gotta really pay attention, like it's something just like chill to throw on in the background, or like, you know to have a meal with it. Like it's just easy, bro. It's easy. So if you haven't checked out Psych, definitely do that, bro. But that's pretty much it as far as like the entertainment side of things. Next I want to talk to you guys about a content formula. So y'all know on the Why I'm Geek podcast, bro, it's all about telling things that you're excited about and just being able to express that and get feedback and just share it with the world, bro, because you never know who's listening that can spark that next idea. So for me, I'm not necessarily like ever worried about somebody stealing my idea because there's room enough out there for anybody. So and I just think it's like a cool conversation to have, just because content creation can be very lonely if you don't have like a group of people to bounce ideas off of and express like what you have. And that's why I like doing this as well, because I can have a conversation with my community about the things that we're doing and get feedback from it. And it's just like it's dope. So like having a content format, I feel like is very important, because not only does it like help you define what your content is, but it kind of structures everything around it. Now, by any means, like this is not like law, like this is not something that you just like have to do, but I think it's something that innately happens as well. Just in the process of you being a creative, like, and this is not necessarily like something that only applies to making YouTube videos or like content. Like it's just overall like content creation. Like there's a formula to like literally everything. There's a process, right? So for me, like I have not necessarily been like looking for a formula, but I just kind of like been growing with it as I continue to create. So I'm actively creating, I'm actively like reviewing and trying to have a better understanding of the stuff that I make and how my audience reacts to it and things like that. And I'm giving like my whole content journey, like that's literally like the first episode of this podcast, up until this point. And I've changed so much since then. You know what I'm saying? I've changed so much since then, because like, every month it's like, okay, what can I have learned and taken from last month to, not necessarily change, but grow upon in the next month. And having a formula, I feel like is important to that. So for me, like literally, like I, not to say I just came up with this because it's like, it sounds kind of weird just to be like, like I own this type thing, but it's something that like I'm gonna start applying to everything that I do, and it helps me kind of structure like this whole thing, because it's a lot. I do a lot of stuff. So like if you break my content down to the bare bones, bro, to the bare bones, it's literally this. So it's react, review, explain, repeat. Now that's like, that might not be a formula, but I like that's how I, if there was a formula, it'd be like react plus review plus explain plus repeat equals content, or just like success or whatever. Like, what I'm saying, whatever the goal is for that. But for me, like I'm more focused on the actual formula, not the answer, not the result of it. Just because like this took me a while to get to this point, because I went from literally doing one thing in one game to playing multiple games to talking about games that haven't even come out to talking about shows that I'm watching. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and coming up with different series and IPs, and I'm gonna get into that later on. But like this new formula is really gonna help me not only just like diversify my content, but also bring a focus to my whole channel. And it started off, I'll tell you the truth, it started off with just the look. Thumbnails, like, you know, graphics, like things have changed a lot, you know, within the past few months. And just thinking about the future, honestly, of like what I want this to be. Because, you know, I've done a lot of these things in different ways. Like literally, like I could break down to you my actual, like, I call them IPs because that's what they are. You know, I have a lot of different shows, including this one, which is the podcast. And I literally break those down into, you know, I'll break them down for you. So reactions, I'm literally starting like this week, not necessarily like the reaction videos, but you know, that portion of my content. So I react to a lot of stuff, but it's not always live reactions, it's post reaction. So I feel like that's the next step. And I've always had like a funny feeling about doing reaction videos because like I used to have a beef with like channels like back in the day that were blowing up just because they were doing reactions. I'm like, man, it don't take nothing to react to a video. Like I'm spending all this time editing these clips together and making it dope. Like, and this was I was like my mixtape days, you know what I'm saying? I'm just starting out to put out mixtapes and stuff, and it was getting, you know, it was getting decent views. And I had like different artists that liked my stuff and were retweeted and stuff. So like, you know, it's just like, you know, normal what's the word? Bravado, or just like thinking I'm hot stuff, you know what I'm saying? Basically. And you know, I would see these reaction channels blowing up. Like I'll see different YouTubers start doing reaction, and I was just like, I wasn't feeling it. You know what I'm saying? I was not feeling it. But it wasn't until I realized it was not the reaction that, you know, necessarily people cared about, because, you know, you have the people that like do extra stuff when they're reacting, like, you know, and they're putting on the character, and that's part of their content. I respect that. But that's not all to it. They also care about, you know, the audience cares about their opinion. They come back to hear what that person has to say about whatever they're looking up. You know what I'm saying? At that moment, I think that, you know, that's a key portion to, you know, gaining a new perspective. And that's what I'm all about, bro. I'm all about just offering a different perspective and being open to that. So, you know, I struggled against it for so long, but now I'm just going to do it and see where it go. So now we got Sensei Reacts. That's the first portion of it. And this all has to do with, you know, how you consume content as well. So first, you know, you watch it for the first time, you have your initial reaction, right? Then you sit back and you review it, right? You review it, you know, break down every portion of that video and, you know, come up with not necessarily a thesis, but just like your own opinion on it, right? So then you have your opinion, right? And now you explain it, you know. So like the review portion of it would be the G files. That's what we do in the G files. We document it, right? And then next is not to explain. So this is now when you get into the nuances of said topic, you know. So like whether I'm talking about, let's take Attack on Titan, right? So I give my review on this episode, and then I can explain a portion of that episode, and it be specifically about that, and then you repeat it, and that repetition is going to be the long form content, which is like this podcast where I can, you know, talk and express an overall synopsis of everything that, you know, I had throughout the week. And I think that, you know, that is what's going to lead me to success, basically. and just be able to, offer a different perspective, which is dope because it feeds and touches so many different audiences and different things people are looking for. But it's also being true to me because I'm only gonna talk about stuff that I care about. You know what I'm saying? And that's part of like why I'm geeked. Like, 'cause I'm excited about this thing. You know. And as far as like the subject matter, like I'm only gonna talk about the stuff I know about, and that's like gaming, specifically pretty much basketball, and then gaming, that anime, Star Wars, like the stuff that you see on my channel already. That's what I'm gonna talk about, you know, because it's like I ain't really gonna get into like stuff I don't really know about because that's just like why would I do that? I don't want to give misinformation. That's a dangerous line too, So once I figured that out, it helped bring a lot of things full circle into what we're doing. So, not only with that, but just like everything that I do, that's including growth, and that's allowing me to take that to the next level, because like the rollout I'm about to do from that, like everything that I learned from just doing growth apparel originally, like I'm gonna really go for it this time, like what I'm saying, like really have a really dope rollout and have it be consistent, right? And when I'm saying that, like that's when it's gonna come to starting to build a team around that thing. But I gotta get it out there first. What I'm saying? I gotta really get it out there, and explain the message behind it and stuff like that. And we're taking steps towards that. What I'm saying? We're taking steps towards that. One specifically that happened, we got our first like rendition of our new hats, bro. These are like pretty much like exclusive. I only had a few made just because like this is like going to be start of brand building for growth. This is not a hat that you can just get anywhere. Like this is not like something like this is something specific, something that you'll be able to remember, something that like is going to stand out. And I'm super excited about it. And I just like I could see the vision, bro. I could see it happening. So I'm super geeked about that. And an important portion of that is sometimes you gotta take a step back. Sometimes you definitely have to take a step back and look at what you've done to gain a new perspective on it. And that's something that I've done with growth, for sure. So when you start seeing more stuff drop like on social media and stuff like that, definitely pay attention, man. I got new stuff out already. So, what I'm saying, if you want to check that out, the link is in the description. It's in the panels below on Twitch if you're watching on Twitch. And, what I'm saying, if you want to check it out, definitely do that. But, the hats aren't, like, ready or available, but the new merch is coming out soon. So, well, technically it's already out, but I'm going to start dropping stuff on it soon. So, y'all see it more in the videos. Y'all see it more everywhere. And I'm super geeked about it, bro. I'm super geeked about it. I want to go, should I show y'all the hats, bro? Should I do it? I don't know. This is gonna be the first time, like, I ever put it out there. I'm gonna do it. Hold up. 1 second. Hold up. So, let me give y'all a little breakdown of this joint so far. So, I've come out with hats before. Y'all seen them. I've worn them in plenty of videos. And, a lot of people, it did well. What I'm saying? A lot of people, like, they sold out or whatever. But there was nothing, like, it didn't mean nothing. What I'm saying? It didn't mean nothing. And, I said, like, for the effort that I went into making these, we're getting them out there, getting them done, like, it's gotta mean something next time, what I'm saying? So I told myself I ain't gonna make nothing else until, like, I have exactly what I want, and, we finally did that. Now, these joints are like exclusive, bro. Like I literally like only got 5 of them done. So I'm eventually like, you know, do a whole drop for them. But not to say I kind of want to like build anticipation, but you know what I'm saying, it's all part of the plan, bro. It's all part of the plan. So you're gonna see this hat, and I should probably show it, but you know what I'm saying, I wanted to preface it like before, you know what I'm saying. So this is the hat right here, bro. This is the hat. This is the growth logo, the new growth logo. This will soon also be the new sub badge as well. I'm gonna bring that over here, just to start to, you know, bring everything together, bro. And yeah, bro, that's it. I could give you guys a little synopsis of like, you know, everything that this means, but you know, this is a big step, bro. This is a big step just because, you know, for everything that we do, the content that we make, you know, we always gotta be repping, bro. And like I say, I'm already wearing some of our old merch right now. Like, I want to get to that point, you know, to where it's like, dang, what's that? Like, you know, people are like, oh, what's that? Oh, that's growth right there. Like, you know, that's growth, and that doesn't sound dope. But you know, I'm super excited about this. This rollout gonna be crazy. Just be on the lookout, man, on all social medias. Check out the Growth Network on IG, bro. Check that out. Search Growth Apparel. You know what I'm saying? Team Gennaro, everything. We finna do this thing. So, hope you guys enjoyed this episode, man. If y'all did, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, rate this joint 5 stars. And you know what I'm saying, let me know in the comment section, bro. Let me know in the comment section that you enjoyed it, bro. Cause I like hearing the comments about, like, seeing comments about the episode, whether it's like, you know, about the whole episode, something specific. You know what I'm saying? I like chatting with y'all, so definitely do that, man. Yeah, hope you guys enjoy. Like I said, y'all on the vibes. Always keep growing, see going. It's been your boy G. Peace. Don't finna take over, baby. Let's get it. Ah!